Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Amplify. This is probably the longest chain of amplified people I had, and the history of who amplified who you can see in the post description on my Instagram. Before getting to the episode, let's have a look at previously on Amplify. Who do you want to amplify?
Just one name?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I will say my drag daddy, King Baxter.
This episode will be about White Monster Dynasty, about creating a punk scene in fascist Nice, and about being a fairy and a demon at the same time. So without further ado, King Baxter. Today, I'm very happy to have this time spent with you because I have this project which is called Amplify, and this is about interviews with usual and unusual people. And we got to you because you are amplified by Blanquet Lagoulou, amazing person. So let's start with what are your pronouns?
My pronouns are they, them.
They, them. Okay, what's your connection with Blanquet Lagoulou? How do you two know each other?
She's my daughter.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about it a bit.
But it was maybe like 2 or 3 years now that I discovered Blanquette Lagoulou. She saw me before for Utsopi support party, so sex workers led, and then I discovered what she was doing, and I was really like interested by the political way she was making her shows. And so we met, and I just proposed her to like know a bit more each other, and maybe think about like what's going on about being a part of a kind of a white monster dynasty weirdo family. But so that's what we made. Yeah.
For people who don't understand, what does it mean that she is your daughter?
It means like in the story, it means that we try to rebuild a kind of a family more has a support relationship. And so in the reality, it also means that like I propose more Blanquette to play at some places. So it's also like sharing the contact that I have to put her more on stage or just help her also like every day talking about like what's drag, what it means, what can we do on stage, out of stage. And it's also like sharing our lives also because of being transgender. So it's more about like sharing life and sharing stage meaning. Yeah, so that's it. Well,
You took Blanket under your wing.
yes.
About you, so where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where were you born?
I was born in the northeast of France, in a city called Metz. Then I grew up there till my 11 years old. Then we all moved close to Italy to be closer to the Italian part of my family because the grandmother was alone, and so that's that's something. So we went to Nice. That it's a really beautiful city full of fascists inside. So I made my all my teenage moment there. That was quite epic because that's not so much to do there. I mean, like even if you really love to go to the seaside every day, but when you are a teenager, you want to have more fun or activity or I don't know concern about you. That it's not the good city for that. So we just created many things through also the punk scene and the anarchist movement, where I come from, and my ideology. And I made my study there. till my superior study of art, and then when I finished everything, I just quit this city and I came here in Brussels.
Did you have somebody in Brussels at that time who did invite you?
Just two friends. Actually, I never been to Brussels before. I was invited to Mons when it was the cultural capital event to perform there, and I just decided to see one of my friends who were living here in Brussels just one night and go back to Brussels after that. And I was really like impressed by the diversity of people I could met in one night and the diversity of the proposal of events and the energy also of the city. And I was like, hey, okay, maybe I will come here. And without knowing that it could be like, because now it's like 7 years that I'm living here, and I just thought that maybe it's gonna be 3 months. We don't know. We'll just leave, and Brussels looks nice, and you will see after that if you want to go further in the north or I don't know. But yeah, and when I arrived in Brussels, I just have had two friends from my art school were there, close friend. That's it.
Let's talk about this amazing vocal artistic entity, which is called the real King Baxter. So your stage name is King Baxter or the real King Baxter?
The stage name is King Baxter, and
King.
The real King Baxter is Instagram.
It's your Instagram. How did you start doing what you're doing in terms of with this concrete project?
Okay, with this concrete project, I began to do it in 2015.
Already here in Brussels?
No, the first gigs were in Nice, in the art school, because it all began inside the art school studying. That I was really like searching around like making numeric art and like create a persona who can come and go in the screen, outside of the screen, and being a kind of entity and cyborg, kind of a demon and fairy at the same time. And so it began in the art school, but really at the end of my studying, and then I just like continued here more freely also here in Brussels to do it. But I used to make music before as a drummer also, singer and a drummer at the same time, and glam punk scene. So in glam punk scene, it's really important because we used to be drag also inside. So that's why I'm not like coming from the traditional drag scene, but more coming from this glam way also of doing drag on stage.
Tell me about your first tracks. Was it something that you had to produce yourself? You had to find someone to produce it for you? You had to be on stage alone or with the band? Like, I'm so curious about that.
The first track I composed it alone because I also wanted it's like a child dream for me to know to compose everything of a track. I want to play bass, I want to play guitar, I want to play piano, I want to play everything. I want to compose it myself. So it was really a goal for me. And that's how it began. The first track of King Baxter, it was for me like, okay, it's gonna be a listening
Experience.
good or not listening music, but trying to make something that could apparently looks like or sounds like a track or a song. And pop music was it was really important for me to try with my own like metalhead background, try to make like pop music. It was really like interesting to see how it could sound.
That's yeah, indeed interesting because I thought that you were like really into like heavy metal and stuff like that, but then I listened to the track which is called Gold as Fuck.
Reputation, that passion of sickness. Reputation, that passion of sickness.
And that's a very nice track. So is it something you also the same way you produced everything yourself or you work with somebody?
Now I work with somebody because I was really afraid to like just reproduce same gimmicks,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wanted to go further with this King Baxter project. And I just admit myself that first of all, like singing or like writing the lyrics, it's already something to do. And I really just wanted to play with someone else. Also, I really miss that. Like I used to play in bands, and just the way we can compose together is for me like way more interesting than just alone, because you are confronted with like other ideas, and so it's more kind of rich, I guess. And so now I play with Maxime Pichon, who's also like a composer.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I just like call him because he's a friend of mine for now like 5 years. And I just call him to ask him if he could have a ear to my music. I just like listen the five first song of the second album, because I was really like, I don't want to make the same, or just I want to go like, I don't know, yeah, further beyond something, you know. And I really wanted someone who could be able to say to me like, you should go this way, or I don't like this, or I prefer that, or whatever, that I could trust also. And suddenly he came one day with something like a, I compose something, but it's not for me. I guess it's for King Baxter. And so that's how we began to really compose together.
What's the name of that song that he composed the first time when he came to you?
That's a good. I think. I think. Or it's Monster, the first track of the second album. Or.
Because you have some male vocals also on Monster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a friend of mine also. That it's really a part of a way of my transgender life. That it's quite funny because now I'm sharing the testosterone with his real little brother. So that's just a loop. That's something like quite nice, really nice. But yeah, I don't know if it's Monster or Gold actually. Maybe
Okay.
it's Gold as fuck. Yeah.
Where does the name King Baxter come from?
That's a really long and mixed story. Um, First of all, I really wanted to be a king. Also, for being provocative. Like, what's up? That's AFAB, like a sign female as born. Um, with all the stigmas that I've been through, also as an intersex people, to just like sit somewhere and say, now, this is my rule because I am the king. And that's because I come from the South, and the South, and that's not really like feminist. So I was really like in this kind of mood. So and also like because like being a king on stage, because I couldn't be a drag queen. I just and I didn't used to know like so many drag king actually none of them. And but just I used to know like a lesbian who was like wearing men clothes, but we for me it was not like drag king as we know today. So I just like decided to sit somewhere and decided that I will be the king. But not just an authoritarian king like this, because Baxter is also coming from is a really like casual dog name in England for the Bull Terrier,
Bull Terrier, yeah.
and it's also a brand on like medical um, like hospital that it's like will like make you the possibility to survive.
Oh.
Yeah, it's needle brand on
Yeah.
hospital that's named Baxter. And also because at the time when I was a teenager, I used to work as a hacker with a friend of mine. I mean, like cyber friend of mine, and we were sharing the name of Baxter. So that's a three mix, and I was like, okay, so I am the king of dogs. Sounds logical because I presume that in this society, it's all about like dogs choosing their master. Yeah, smart, isn't
So,
it?
okay, wow.
Then, like, yeah, the Baxter who can help you to survive, it's really my case. I
Mm-hmm.
really choose to, like, level up what I wanted to do on stage on being King Baxter just to survive, really, like, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, give a tribute to my aching partner that
Mm-hmm.
we used to work together, like, and with the same political way of doing things.
Mm-hmm. When I interviewed Blanquette and also Elliot before Brigari, we spoke a lot about political stuff, and Blanquette explained me her experience at the political at the Pride, which was terrible. I honestly afterwards I googled everything, and it was really terrible. Don't understand how it could even happen now, but it happened. So you incorporate a lot of political views in your art.
Yeah.
Is there something, except the fact that the south of France is not really feminist and stuff, is there something that influenced politics being used in your art?
Uh, I guess I can answer like my life. Um, because I'm transgender, because I'm also like non-heterosexual, because I'm a freak and that I'm proud of it, because I always thought that we are in this weird capitalist society who like stigmatize minorities, who give the power to like wrong people, or not like lovely people. I don't know how to say it and being polite at the same time. But I think that we are in a really unfair and cruel world without like being cheesy. But I really think of it that it's or you good or you bad. So it's it's also simple as when I said like, okay, so I am satanist. I'm okay with that. You know, like just if I'm gonna be the adversary because you think so, I mean like the you outside of the world, I'm really like, okay, so fair enough.
Mhm.
It's really like I don't know when my body is in the street, I really understand um, how I am different, but I didn't choose it. So it's always this kind of thing like how can I how can I speak about it on stage? How can I be involved also like in real life as being a part of collective or being a way to make like media and so communicate um, about laws or legacy that gonna like that gonna be built for things. and also like working against, yeah, just like finding a way to work to help um, at some places that I found like really way more than just not fair. For example, like helping migrants more than like the LGBTQI plus community needed. I mean, like I do also that, but I also it's also like important for me to try to help like all the places that I found like just like human and normal to help.
What about your picture, like as artist picture? Because it looks like it changed a lot from how you were at the beginning, just with blue hair, and now when you go on stage, you have this whole makeup, ears, mustache. Like, is this something that you just add to the base, that you kept your blue hair, you just add to the base always something new, or it's like the final version that you're gonna like be now, or how, or you like to change
I
it all?
I think it's more about like my mood, and I let myself the possibility to evolve also as Pokemon. I can evolve me too, and yeah, it's more like yeah updates, you know, like more cyborg way of watching it, but yeah, I try to let the this person evolve. I still have like different faces, as I could be like full of different entity also myself. So sometimes King Baxter looks more like a dark night elf that I really like, or a werewolf, or sometimes he's still this like kind of a bombastic BDSM cosmic cheek, uh, who like yeah threatening you to peg you all the time. You know, like it's a kind of like mixing. Um, it's also like playing with gender, you know, like and be able to stay fluid.
What is next for you? What's your plan next?
For the next few days, you mean?
For the next few months till the end of the year, mostly next in your career, what do you working on right now?
Making videos because I miss also like just like making videos. I used to do it more often when I was in the luxury of a art study. But now I'm making like maybe one video for 2 years or something like this. So I really wanted that. I really want to also like we're gonna begin to produce the third album, I guess, this winter. And
Working with the same person, with Maxime, yeah?
yeah, I'm gonna work with Maxime. I'm gonna also work with someone whose name is Mathieu or Krashmat or Yogamat or what's he got like several names of like stage, but
And he's like a music producer, yeah?
yeah, he's a music producer, and he produced EP for me that we're gonna hear the end of September.
Okay.
It's named like Les Prisonnières d'Aquaria.
It's gonna be in French?
It's in French, yes. Yes, it's in French.
Uh-huh.
It's 4 track, speaking about like cyber, yeah, about cyber culture. Yeah, because it's not only cyber, but mostly cyborg culture and cybernetic and stuff like this. And this summer, I mean tomorrow, we are going to Avignon with Lilibet Snell, who's a actress that I'm working with, and she made a show whose name is Lilith.
Lilith.
So,
Okay.
yeah, we are both on stage, and we're gonna play it every day during the month of July in Avignon.
Is it when they have in Avignon the festival?
Yeah,
Oh, awesome. So you're going there, you're gonna be playing there. Wow, congrats. It's like really a huge event there. It's like every day, and they have so many tourists from different countries, and it's like very known.
yeah,
Lovely.
yeah, yeah. So
Cool.
it's gonna be
Congrats.
like a really good exercise
Yeah.
because I'm playing music on stage. It's narrative during transition and about transition.
Okay. It's more about transition.
Yeah.
How do you spend your days? Because I wonder if you have like a day job, something which makes you wake up at, I don't know, 8 a.m. or something. Do you have something like that?
Not anymore.
So,
I'm in employment fee for 1 year now.
okay. If you don't have like a day job, how do you spend your days? Do you, to be, creative, but to be also in your element?
First of all, I'm drinking coffee to wake up. That's really important. But I also like work out a bit just to wake up my body. Then I'm trying to one thing like really important is like having 1 day for administration and not like doing administration a bit every day. I'm trying to do it because it's really stressed me out. So I'm really trying to focus myself doing it and not thinking about it like till the next
Yeah.
moment. And then I can like after that just like um, organize myself around creation. So it depends of the moment, but for now I really need to read more like new books also, listen to music to just like refulfill my imagination, and um, and I'm also trying to see my friends, kind of not maybe every day because sometimes I'm really like not as social, but I really like to be alone, and sometimes I'm just like laying down in my living room with the guitar and I'm just like with my two cats and we are hanging together and that's nice. And
And
yeah, I'm trying to like compose sometimes stuff.
so you do it in Logic Pro or in
Ableton Live.
Ableton Live or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
We spoke that you have a lot of inspiration in your art from politics, from different like areas in the transition, and the fact that you're different. Is there someone who inspires you, like a person?
There is many people who inspires me because sometimes they are just in the everyday life of mine. Like my friends are really a really good source of like inspiration for just rethinking life. But I'm also like a lot of part of collective, so it's always like being surrounded people who are thinking and rethinking politics. But if there is like someone who's really inspired me and who is like a part of also my family, chosen family, is Jean-Luc Vernat. That it's he's a performer. He's also he's making drawings, and he's a singer. He's on stage as an actor, also a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an old fag who just like give me so many lessons, like just by explain me like what was the world before when I was just I don't know like 8 years old. Um,
8 years old King Baxter.
yeah, 8 years old King Baxter, and also because I met Jean-Luc when I arrived in the art school, that I thought that it could be like kind of a punk and circus place that was not at all, was not
Mhm.
like petit bourgeois kind of place, and I was like really shocked, like saying to myself like what the fuck am I doing here? I'm not with those people, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna fit. And I just hear a dark voice calling me like, "Hey, you little fag," and I was like, "Yes, that's me." And that's how we met.
Oh, nice.
And he was my teacher for 3 years, and then we are still friends now. He really got like his own way of creation, and he's a kind of really wise and at the same time spontaneous teenager soul. And I'm really like, okay, that's really beautiful to see someone like so honest, also like in a good as a bad way for people. Depends of how you perceive it, but I really like it. And after for my makeup and stuff, I'm really like more close to someone that I don't know, divine, but
Okay.
that's a kind of my mother, spiritual mother, and John Waters as well. And I get to admit that for like contemporary one that inspire me is also like Trixie Mattel.
Okay.
That
Wow.
it's a really like a mainstream queen because she come from RuPaul Drag Race. But I really love the way she is just like speaking about life, just like completely natural.
I am kind of collaborating with an organization which is called the Noisy Brain, and their objective and their job is to be a mediator between people with mental health issues and musicians. Or even if you have mental health disabilities, you are able to add something to art. So their question is, how do you nurture your mental health?
Hey, um, I'm trying to accept that I'm not well. That sometimes I've been really through like automutilation, self-destruction, and like I used to had like a lot of suicidal tendencies. For sure, I've been like to see like many therapists to help me also.
Mhm.
That works, and I'm just trying to find a way to accept it, to trying to speak with it, and so let a space or give a room for it. That's not easy at all because this society we're living in is really afraid of everything who's like having a problem with mental health. That's really a taboo, so you can't really like be chill saying you're depressed. The big thing that I'm trying to do is like giving a room for it. Like I know that I can be like really dark, but I'm trying to make it turn it as lyrics, for example, or yeah, trying to like not cutting myself, just like playing piano with it, and that's now the real big difference from before.
Tell me about your like most positive experience as King Baxter on stage. Like, what was it? Where were you performing? For who you were performing?
I quite love every kind of moment in performance, even if they sometimes that can be rough. But it's always nice to have to experience it. I mean, it's a really part of it. Also, but I think that the most impressive performance that I experienced was last year for the Festival Homographia.
Mm-hmm.
That it was here in Brussels at Tripostal.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, the moment I come on stage, I really felt like I was at home. Really weird, no stress at all. Like who spoke about stress? No one is stressing here. Like really chill. But there were like I don't know how many people was there, but really so many. The crowd was packed. And for one of the song, it was the first time that I played this song, and I tried to do this body movement that I was like, it's for Nous. It's a song that it's on the second album. Who take back the like strike lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Who are like nous sommes fortes, nous sommes fiers, féministes radicales et en colère.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the song, I put one of my knee on the ground and I just like left my fist up, and I just saw like all the crowd doing the same thing, and I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
When I hear about those moments, I'm like, it's worth it, really. It's like just it's worth it being yourself and kind of promoting your beliefs and values to the world, because you have people who think just the same way, but maybe they are not brave enough to get it out of themselves. Of course, because nowadays we all, how did you say it? Dogs looking for our masters. Yeah. Okay, so what advice do you have for someone who wants to do music, who wants to do performance art?
Give you the possibility to try it. It's not just about saying like don't be afraid or whatever, just you're gonna be afraid. That's frightening. That's really frightening. But just like try to do it. You can't like shame yourself of trying.
Absolutely. Our dear King Baxter, who do you want to amplify?
I thought about it, and I would love to amplify a plurial fairy performer whose name is Mad Face and the Many. And like before, you used to find them on Instagram as Queer Face and the Many, and so they are a neurotypical performer, and they are doing music, and their music are really soft and fluffy and really like carrying by their lyrics. They're doing a really beautiful job.
Thank you. I'm gonna reach out to them for sure. King Baxter, where can we find you? If somebody wants to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
You can find me on numeric platform as Instagram, Facebook. I'm more active on Instagram actually than Facebook, but and that's it. I'm not going through the other social media because that's way a lot for me actually to have those both. And if not, if you are in Brussels and you see me on the street, just say hi. Hi, Baxter.
Hi, hi.
Hi.
Or just how did you put your knee on the floor and then do? Yes. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Oh, thanks a lot. Thank you very much for your time. I love our chat. Thanks a lot for telling me about you. You are truly a very interesting person, because we think you break boundaries. We think that you are maybe like this whole rocker stuff, but then you have also the soft side of yourself, which is like very, very nice. So Thanks a lot. And yeah, so see you somewhere on Instagram and somewhere in Brussels. And if I see you, I will do. Thank you very much for streaming the episode. Don't forget to support King Baxter. Go check out their Instagram, their Spotify page, and see you next week.
Je ne viens pas d'ici. Je sais souffrir.
J'aime un peu,
Je suis un monstre.
passionnément.
Je respire.
J'expire,
J'aime intensément.
je mens intensément.
Je n'ai pas de branchies.
Je n'aime pas être dérangé,
Je suis un monstre.
surtout tout l'été.
Je repartirai ailleurs. Je sais aimer.
Les fleurs,
Je sais sourire.
sont là,
Je suis un monstre.
surtout l'été.
Je ne sais pas ce que je fais là. Allez,
Je n'aime pas les saisons
je ne suis pas branché.
où la branche de cerisier pleure,
Je suis un monstre.
pleure,
J'ai des poils.
que je ne l'aime, que je ne
Je
l'aime.
ne viens pas d'ici.
Je respire.
À bien préserver,
Je sais souffrir.
j'aime un peu.
Je sais pleurer. Je ne sais pas ce que je fais là.
La folie,
Je suis un monstre.
passionnément,
Je sais sourire.
j'aime
Je respire. Je repartirai
je ne
ailleurs.
sais pas
Je suis un monstre.
où je suis,
Je ne sais pas ce que je fais là.
je n'aime pas les saisons,
J'ai des poils. Je sais aimer. Je sais pleurer. Je suis un monstre.
surtout l'été,
J'aime intensément.
surtout les temps, surtout les temps, surtout
Je
les
ne
temps.
suis pas branché. Je suis un monstre.
Étant la neige,
J'ai de la peau,
surtout les temps,
des organes génitaux.
je mens, surtout l'été,
Je suis un monstre.
étant la neige, surtout les temps, je mens, surtout l'été.